Hello everyone. I'm making this recording and video to take you through the behavioral model that I've been working on. And I just wanted to highlight at the beginning that the model um, has three distinguished stages. So the model considers behavior to go through three different stages, and it flows from right to the left. You can see here stage one, stage number two, and stage number three. Starting with stage number one, we have the background. The background is divided into three different sections, which is the psychological characteristics like mood and personality. And we have also demographic characteristics like ethnicity, religion, income, age, and education. And the third one is the significant life experiences that is concerned with severe hazards. And these three different components in background, they shape what we call values and beliefs for the individual. And to highlight the three different components from the beliefs, which are perceptions, starting with risk perception, personality, and social norms. So values and beliefs, it leads to a set of perceptions. The three of them are very critical in our case to explain and try to predict a student's behavior when it comes to hurricane preparation actions. So risk perception, that part is built on the housing conditions. So severity of the threat, it means how how severe do the student think their houses would be affected by a hurricane, and how safe they feel in it or not. Probability of the threat, how often do they think their house is going to be impacted or hit by a hurricane. The second part here, we have the responsibility, which is divided into moral responsibility and conventional responsibility. Moral responsibility, it comes from an moral obligation to prepare for hurricane action. Just thinking this is the right thing to do and doing it based on that. Conventional responsibility is concerned with our social image. It's a personal need to be perceived by the society as responsible people. So this is what conventional responsibility. And conventional responsibility, as it is concerned with social image, also concerned with social norms. This is why there is a feedback between these two elements. So social norms is concerned with how much we care about others if they want us to do a certain thing or not. For example, um, do I prepare for a hurricane if my family wants me to do so? This is called the subjective norm. This is the first element, which is concerned with like a closer social circles, and the social pressure is concerned with bigger social circles. Like if my co-workers wants me to prepare for a hurricane, would I do that because I care enough about what they think? Um, I care enough about what they want me to do. So this is the social norms part. So three of them, risk perception, responsibility, and the social norms, shape the first factor or element in the stage number two, which is the attitude. So the attitude, combining all of these perceptions together, we would have an overall assessment for a particular behavior. So do we really think that particular behavior is positive, wise, or is it useless or negative? So that shapes our attitude. Besides attitude, we would need a cue to action. A cue to action in here is represented by a message or an email that the student gets from the university at the beginning of the hurricane season, telling them that they need to prepare. So message format, cue or to action is divided into two elements, which is message format. The message format is concerned with, does the message received has like a sense of urgency? Does it triggers a sense of urgency or not. And the message source, which is the built on the trust foundation basically between the students and the university. Do the students trust the university enough as a source of information to take that kind of preparation and behaviors? Once we have the cue to action, once it's executed right, that will trigger information seeking. And then this is where we have the knowledge part in here. So central route and peripheral route. Central route is more like a cognitively demanding route. Can be represented by self-educating. Once I get that message, for example, from the university, I need to go and read about how to prepare for a hurricane. I need to explore it more. I need to spend effort on a cognitive level in order to know what to do and how to do it. So this knowledge is more like a procedural knowledge, and peripheral route is less of a cognitive route that some people might choose, or you might be actually doing as well as you're self-educating. For example, peripheral route can be seen as like an observation, just seeing what other people around you are doing and doing the same thing. So it can be both of them. It can be one, but you will have to get your knowledge. You will have to get your know-how or procedural knowledge in order to continue on the model, in order to go all the way to the behavior. Now, once you know what to do and how to do it, that will shape your efficacy. And efficacy is divided into two elements, self-efficacy and outcome expectancy. Self-efficacy is, do I really believe that I can do that behavior or not? Do I believe that I can prepare an emergency kit as I'm supposed to do? Outcome expectancy is more like a plan efficacy. Do I really believe that this preparation action would actually save my life in case of a hurricane or not? Do I really think that, for example, preparing an emergency kit would be the reason for my survival in a case of a hurricane or not? If we have the efficacy and the intention that our high efficacy and positive attitude towards that behavior, that would lead us to intention. And intention is has been the strongest predictor of behavior along most of the theories in human behavior and psychology. Now, if you notice here, there's a shortcut, which is a significant life experience. So significant life experiences might lead to direct intention of preparation or taking a hurricane preparation action in some cases. For example, if you survived a severe hurricane in the past, or you lost a beloved one in a severe weather hazards before, so that could actually lead you directly to have an intention to prepare. And from intention, we will move to the first component in stage number 3, which is the actual behavior. Now, sometimes intention doesn't really lead to actual behavior because of like physical obstacles, but this is not the point of the model. So we're just going to be assuming that there's no physical obstacles that prevents people from doing what they want to do. So behavior is the first component in here, and once we do the behavior, that generates a direct experience with the behavior. Once we conduct it for the first time, this is considered to be a direct experience, and in the direct experience, we learn from our own behavior and our own experience. So we self-monitor, the behavior, and we modify it as well. And this is why you see a small feedback loop in here. And once we do the behavior, also people around us will notice what we are doing, and that they will be observing, and that might change also their behavior as well. So that's a diffusion of behavior. This is how the behavior moves or spreads from one person to another. So if you really think about it, so diffusion of behavior is part of the peripheral route of someone's else behavioral cycle about the same set of behaviors, which is the hurricane preparation behavior. So as you noticed, for example, as you've been observing people and the peripheral route in here, now people are observing your behavior and the diffusion of behavior section and stage number 3. And once you experience, for example, you survive a hurricane, and for the first time, that changes, that feeds back into stage number 1 and stage number 2. Stage number 1, there's different elements that's going to be changed. Like your risk perception might change, your sense of responsibility might change, social norms as well. And this is why it feeds back into stage number 1 overall. And also, once you survive a hurricane, that your attitude, your efficacy, your knowledge gain, all of it changes also. And stage number 2, not necessarily really changes, but it feeds back into stage number 2, and it might slightly or severely impact the different elements in here, like the attitude, the knowledge, the efficacy. It depends on what kind of experience that you had. But overall, your behavior goes from one stage to another, and these stages feed back to each other, which makes a lot of sense. Now, if you look in here, the green light, the green color in here, for example, stage number 2, 3, this is just to explain the model. So this is not actual factors in the model so we won't be able to test those. Not going to be tested. And also here, if you see here the gray or blue ones, this too at the stage number 3, they need more than one cycle of the behavior to be tested, and that we will not be able to do in this research. So we're going to be only focusing on the ones in yellow. And if you see here also the gray or the blue ones in the beginning, those are too broad to be tested in one set of questions. So we won't be able to test these. So the only one that we're going to be testing in the model is the one in blue. So if you just take all of these out, this is what's going to happen. This is what you're going to see. This is the elements that are going to be tested actually in the model. So I'm going to be also sending along this record in this email, I'm going to be sending also like a detailed document, written document about the model and all of the theories that have been used in it, and how do behavior moves from one point to another. But this video actually makes it easier to follow, and it's easier to understand. But if you need more details about any of that, you just go back to the written document that's going to be sent in the email. And also, if you're curious about how am I going to be asking about all of these different elements, I'm going to be also sending the survey section concerned about the behavioral model in the email. So you will have the different questions about each of these elements, and also each question will basically also indicate to what part is it measuring. So you will see question number 1, for example, and below it you will see a note that this one is supposed to measure severity of the threat, box number 5 or something like that. So I'm really looking forward to hear back from you, to see, to read your feedback, so that I can just improve the model. And I'm just really excited to just see what you have to say. I really appreciate the time that you've been given into this, and again, I'm looking just forward to hear back from you. Thank you, and have a good day.